Yo guys, what's good? What's good? What's good? We're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. Just giving everybody time. Let me just send out a message, an announcement of the call, and then I'm just gonna get the call started a little bit earlier since I'm falling a little bit behind on schedule. Okay, just give me 1 sec. All right, cool. Good morning, everyone. Smithers, good morning. Koji, okay, cool. Good morning, brother. Lexus, good morning, bro. All right, guys, let's dive right into it. Just 1 sec. Just bring up the screen. All right, guys. Let's go right to DXY. See what's going on over here. All right, guys. So yesterday I told you guys that in terms of a weekly objective, I wouldn't have one till today. Okay. Yesterday there was just not enough data for me to want to assume where price action could potentially go. Okay. Today I have a similar stance. I mean, not too different, but I want to see price action trade up into these areas. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, music was a little too loud on my end. All right. Yeah, sorry. Music was a little too loud on my end. So, yeah, in terms of the dollar, I really want to see a pullback It doesn't necessarily have to come back for previous weekly low, but I want to see somewhat of a pullback. And here on the daily, or what was it, on the 4 hour? Yeah, so on the daily and 4 hour, we did come back to that level that we were looking for, that high on the monthly and the weekly objective, right? And so we did take out all those areas fairly quick on Monday. I mean, we traded right through them. By the time we were here, we were already trading through it. So for me, it's just more ideal to look for shorts in these areas. Now, if the shorts don't pop up, I mean, we're obviously just going to continue moving towards the upside. And so for today, or for this week, I'm okay with setting an initial weekly bias. Okay. I'm okay with setting an initial weekly bias, which is going to be pretty fairly close to where current price is. And I'm going to set pretty fairly close weekly goals or objectives until I see a little bit more evidence. So in terms of the dollar, I want to see price action go to 106.280. 106.280. That's would be my weekly objective. I'm going to keep it very, very close because I don't even believe that we will hit it. But in terms of which direction are we printing, I couldn't go with any other direction than up. So we'll see actually what ends up playing out. We'll probably have to reassess this, but that's okay. The price level again is 106.280. Okay, cool. 106.280. Okay, and I'm gonna drop that over here. Cool. And for a daily, on a daily perspective, yeah, on a daily perspective, we do look like we're just gonna blast up. But on a daily perspective, I want to make it back to the previous daily high level. Again, very close objectives. I want to make it back to that previous daily high level and then see what happens there. As close as we can get to that level, and then we'll go from there. So 106 100 almost. 106 100. Sorry. I accidentally pressed copy when I try to paste it. Okay, cool. That's just going right into my journal right there. Cool. I just want to see what's going to end up happening for today. I have an idea. All right. GM King just came to say that. Man, I'm sorry you're talking down on yourself like that, bro. But we don't do that here. That's not allowed. You can't negatively talk about yourself like that. It's not allowed here. Don't put yourself down like that, brother. One day you'll get good. Alright, guys. So on a weekly for NASDAQ. It's very, very difficult for me to set weekly objectives when really the weekly objective that I would set is the one that we took out. So, if I had to say gun to my head, right? If I really had to say gun to my head, which direction do I see more likely taking place, it's the downside. And I don't know, I'll take this magic blue box down here, but as of right now, I'm very stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see more shorts. You know, I definitely want to see more DXY longs, but I want to see more shorts too. So it's just not the areas to do it from, if that makes sense. I'm going to mark out a couple of these gaps right here that I'm noticing are relatively close. Okay. Very relatively close. Yeah, these two areas do interest me for price action. And the final level that interests me is that previous weekly low again. Okay, yesterday I was in some longs, and I did want to see some longs into some daily insufficiency. On a weekly perspective, though, guys, if I had to say, you know, I'm going to go back to this previous weekly low, and we'll call that 14,790. Okay, 14,790. Okay, that's what I'm gonna stick with. $14,790. Okay, and which is essentially this low over here, this previous weekly low, previous monthly low. I think it's the low of August. Yeah, the low of August. So on a daily perspective, I really want these previous daily highs to get clout. Yesterday I was going for this long to this previous daily high over here in this imbalance. Just noting that imbalance there. There's a gap right there on top of that imbalance. Right at the opening of that imbalance. Right? And there's a gap up here. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe are not used to seeing me mark up my charts, I look at these gaps as levels of support or resistance for price to complement and overlap other areas. For example, like a previous daily high, previous daily low, previous weekly high, previous weekly low, maybe like an order block, a liquidity sweep of some sort, a session that maybe we need to take out, or some sort of liquidity. It could be another insufficiency right in front of it. Whatever it may be, the reason I mark these areas out is because they tend to show, in my cases, the most level of support and resistance, right? So that's why I mark out daily and weekly insufficiencies. Okay, but really I just wanted to see price action get back in here towards this high end. Someone was wondering if we're gonna come back, take out previous daily low one more time and go here, but just know that, you know, this low already took out this previous weekly low, previous daily low. And so if we were to go higher, we really don't need to take out more downside liquidity, unless we're just building up more downside liquidity to then take it out. But that's really the only way that I see this currently, because Friday was kind of like a back and forth. Yesterday was also back and forth, and maybe today we get some actual movement. Okay, so in terms of NASDAQ, I'd love to see if we make it back down. But if not, we end up reaccumulating. Yeah, I'm going for previous daily highs. So in terms of NASDAQ and a daily objective, if I had to say, let's see here. Yeah, if I had to say NASDAQ daily objective, I don't want to say previous daily low. I want to see this area a little bit more. This area that we're trading into right now. See, this area looks pretty attractive right here. So we'll see what happens when we get past here. We did take some upside liquidity. Look at that. London, New York comes in, takes out London price action. Trades into somewhat Asian. I don't think these Asians are going to stand all week. They could stand today. Okay, but for today, I'm going to have the same as my weekly objective. My weekly objective today is my daily. I mean, my daily objective today is my weekly objective as well. I'm going to have very short-term objectives to just see how price reacts out of these areas. Because beyond these points, I want to see what we develop, honestly. It's been quite an interesting week in terms of reaction. I mean, yesterday's longs were pretty nice. I'm not going to go over that right now because we're 5 minutes away from the open, but I'll go over the plays yesterday. Brandon, I don't feel like these shorts are just going to go towards this downside. We keep taking out outside. See that? Like, we take previous high, dump. Now we took out previous high and we're dumping again. And we keep taking out these previous highs and then falling. And notice how we take out the lows. Yeah, we also go up higher, but not as explosively as we've been melting. So it's about being patient. If we do get a reversal here, then I'd rather be a part of the reversal and not get clapped. Not like clap myself before the reversal actually takes place. Because you can be long all week. Let's say like you're super long and you want to see this reversal. And you don't get it till like Friday. You know? You may have to wait all week, but most people, what they'll do is that they'll waste all their bullets from here till Friday trying to get the long. And yeah, just avoid doing that. If it's short, it's short. Despite what your bias is, it's okay to change your bias. Just, it's not okay to go back and forth on your bias. But I'm gonna go over to Dow. Dow in my eyes looked a little bit more attractive. Look at these imbalances kind of playing out the next day. This was a like 15-minute imbalance somewhere over here. Yeah. This nice 15-minute imbalance ended up being the level of resistance for price today. Similar place. I mean, now Dow, I mean, obviously Dow previous daily low. Okay, without a doubt. Without a shred of doubt. Okay. Obviously, that one's pretty obvious. I don't like doing obvious plays, but we've taken out all of these lows. We've traded into a previous area of accumulation. In my eyes, we're ready to make a retracement, but it may not come to play this week. In terms of a weekly objective, man. In terms of a weekly objective, I mean, we can go as low as here, but that's not, I feel like I'm going to set this one now, 34,000 even, and yeah, we'll see. Oh man, I filled out my NAS in front of my, 1 second. I filled out the NAS one incorrectly, 1 sec. Bro, I was wondering why I did that twice. Yeah, I did NASDAQ twice. Okay, I'm gonna switch it real quick. Give me 1 sec. One second. Okay, cool. So let's go to Dow. So for Dow, yeah, that's my objective for Dow. We'll see if that ends up actually holding out. I'm gonna mark it right here. 1 second. I don't know why I shut up over here on TradingView. And that ends up being 34,000 even. Okay, well, I like that. I like that objective. I think it's very likely that we can actually make it down there. Gonna do some very short-term objectives though for now. Very short-term. Daily. I mean, daily's pretty easy. We'll see what happens once we actually get there. Give me one sec again. Alright, it's just that I need to transfer everything over. I marked everything, I journaled everything on my DAO slot, and on my NASDAQ analysis, I did it on my DAO, and then just need to correct that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So there's the open. Let's see what DAO ends up doing. Okay, just know those are equal lows are the ones that I'm really seeing that we're gonna get taken. So maybe we get like a retracement to continue going. Just falling through. Dow kind of resisting that low. S&P, same thing. I mean, I would love if S&P just went down here to a previous daily low. Again, it doesn't have to, but minimum want to see this low. That's already gonna get taken out. Excuse me. Took a NAS short earlier. Ah, man. Alexis, honestly, bro, if you took a trade outside of your trading plan, I don't want to hear it. Yeah. To be honest, not to be rude or anything, but I don't care who catches the trade. You can catch the nicest trade, but if you broke your trading plan, I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just keep going. Bro, it was a beautiful play off of, yeah. Even on the 1 minute too. Yeah, bro, I definitely don't want to hear it. If you broke your plan, yeah. It's very upsetting, if anything. If there's a way to disappoint me, that's the way. I don't care who catches the trade. You can have the biggest trade of your life, but if it went against your plan, it really just did more harm to you than anything else. You know what I mean? I mean, that goes towards anybody. Like, if you ever break your trading plan and then you caught the trade, that does more harm to you than it will ever do you any good, because that fakes you to believe that you can do that sustainably, you know, and it fakes you to believe a lot of things. It's just fugazi, you know. You're just faking yourself. You're not really lying to anybody else but yourself, you know. Yeah, these are having this like rejection to the upside. I mean, Dow did take the previous daily low, but I mean, it was super alright. Okay, let me keep going because I got 2 more comments that are pretty big. Okay, Kay said, bro, I understand the indices move more because of the New York Stock Exchange open at 9:30 Eastern. Is it the same thing? Is it the same with GU and EU? No. So I mean, there are moves that take place between 10 to 11 a.m. on all assets, on all US assets. Okay, all of them, no matter what asset it is, as long as it's a US asset, it will have some sort of movement, nice movement between 10 to 11. At least that's the highest probabilities. It doesn't mean that all the time, every day, you're gonna find some movements at 10 a.m., 10 to 11. It just means that your highest probabilities of catching a nice trade are rest within that window. But that doesn't mean that you have to only trade those times. Yeah, I see a lot of my close circle trade GU and EU way early in the morning, around the 8 a.m. opening price. So the forex market open. In terms of indices, I wait till 10 a.m. to take my trades. In terms of indices, if there's no news or anything like that, my regular day is 10 a.m. to trade. I don't take anything until after 10 a.m. Unless there was some news, there was some like very logical reason that's in my trading plan. My trading plan says the only time that I'm able to break that rule is when there's some high volatility news impact before 9:30 Eastern. That's what my plan says. So even if I see like the sexiest short right now, even if I see like the cleanest trade, I still won't trade it till after 10 a.m. And if that makes it so I miss a trade, then I mean it is what it is. I'm the thing you gotta understand is like I'm profitable, and so I'm gonna believe in myself beyond anybody else, right? So when you start seeing results, you got to lean into that. And if you're not seeing results, you also got to lean into that and figure out why you're not getting results, right? Like, what is it that you're consecutively doing to yourself that's keeping you from getting or keeping any of your profits? Because I know you guys know how to trade. It's not like you guys don't know how to trade. But you got to ask yourself, what's keeping you away from being consistently profitable? What's keeping you away from withdrawing money? What's keeping you away from not passing the account? What are you consecutively doing to yourself every single day that's keeping you from that? Right? And timing's a big one. Timing, a lot of people take that very lightly, but they'll realize one day how important timing is. It's time and price, not price and time. I'll tell you guys that. Your timing has to be there first before you go look at price. If your timing is not there, then you won't see price correctly. So your timing is first, price second. So you just have to have the right timing. And so that's a really good question, Kay. It's a really good question, especially for EU and GU. I traded it after 8 a.m. The only times that I trade them, though, is really when there's news. I don't trade Forex assets too often. Smithers, I learned how to say your name. Smithers. Johancha, when you swept highs like that on Nas, do you look for price to come back into demand? I don't know what demand is. Okay. Do you look for price to come back into demand like that low? Do you wait for accumulation or do you set limits from that? I need to understand that. Do you wait for accumulation or do you just set limits? No, I don't ever set limits. The last time I set a limit, it did not go good. I don't set limits because most of the time I'm here. You know, I'm here paying attention, and so that's why I really don't set limits. I'm usually just market executing. Not that I'm against limits, but yeah, look at this 15-minute area that we ended up respecting on Nasdaq. It ended up respecting at the end of the day. Dow ended up respecting too. We're creating a bunch of liquidity to the downside. That's a really good sign. Maybe we'll come back for that later on. But yeah, if we end up having a long day, this would be ideal in my eyes because I want to short from up here. I don't want to short from where we're at. I want to short from this imbalance up here. So, I mean, ideally, guys, that's what you'd want to see is us get back up there, right? Friday's high. Friday's high is your ideal shorts. Shorting it from where it's at now, it's all right. That's why price is struggling to move lower. You guys seen that? Like, price is struggling to move lower because we're so deep in discount. Yo, Kevin, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh man, at least not in the comments. I'm not sure if you have been tuning in. Man, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if some of you were on the stream yesterday, but on Sunday night, I ended up my week with eating shit, going like 40 miles per hour, um, on an electric scooter on a road. Too, I ate shit like on the road, like a fucking car road, not your residential street. Like it was a fucking main road. Oh, that shit hurts so bad. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because my hand's hurting a lot. My wrist and hand, it's my trading hand too. It sucks. It's like yesterday I didn't have that hard of a time, but today it's fucking painful. So if I stop moving this mouse and screen and I just start talking to you guys, it's just giving myself a little break. Just giving my hand a little bit of a break. Ralph says over leveraging was my issue in the past. Yeah, definitely mine too. Yeah, I don't know if you remember my story yesterday, but I was leveraging like 10%, 20% per trade. It was horrible. So I agree with you there. Over leveraging was a big one for me too. Over trading and over leveraging. Ralph says I learned a long time ago wicks do the damage, so you could be correct at the level, but over leverage you can't handle that drawdown. Yeah. It was just like yesterday. Yesterday's longs were really clean, right? But we got wicked out. The area ended up respecting beautifully, but we did get wicked out. You know, this was a long area, and at first you can see that wicked me out of the trade, and then I got back in it. I was with you guys here when I got back in it, so I get back in it around the same price level, and price comes. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it came a little bit above my stop loss. It would have stopped me out, but because there's no spreads on buys, you know, spreads can't affect you on longs unless you're like executing. But in terms of stop loss, spread can't hit your stop loss on a buy. Okay, just letting you guys know, in case you guys didn't know, that spread cannot hit your stop loss on longs. Okay, on shorts, yeah, it can. The only way that spread affects your longs is at the entry point. At the entry point, you're gonna get filled in a little bit off of your entry or where price currently is, and that's spread. But spread, your stop loss, spread is on top of price. So that means because spread is on top of price, let's do a line right here. Let's say I'm spread, right? This orange line up here is spread, and because spread is on top of price, what hits your price first? What would hit your stop loss first? Price, right? Because spread is on top of current price. So spread doesn't stop you out on your longs. It's price itself that stops you out. But anyways, luckily, you know, we were in the long, and I had a really tight stop loss, and it ended up hitting profit. So out of this whole range, I took profit right here, right at this blue shaded box, and then I closed the entirety at this high. My final take profit was there, and I just had one contract left. So I did 2 contracts here. I took 1 contract off here, and then I left another contract. I think I even took it lower. I think this first high was the reason. Nope. Yeah, nah, it was around this blue shaded box. Was when I first took my partials. I took 1 contract off, and then boom, at this high, I let the rest ride. It was a nice day. It's a really good day to start the Monday. It was a nice like 3.5%. Good morning, Zach. What's good, bro? Hope you're feeling better, bro. I know that Zach fumbled it too. He got clapped literally probably at the same time that I got clapped on my scooters. My boy Zach got clapped on his game. Yeah, we both over leveraged on Sunday night and got stopped the fuck out. I mean, you could even say to the extent we almost blew our account right there, because it was just over leveraged Sunday night. I was super over leveraged. You guys don't know. Okay, you guys don't know how much I can relate it to trading. I was so excited because I had just bought that scooter, so we were just super excited. And I was also in a hurry, so I'm excited in a hurry. And have you guys ever been excited after winning a trade and getting back into the market? Have you guys ever been excited after winning a trade and getting right back into the market? That's what I did. I caught a really nice trade, and I didn't take what the market gave me and left. I fumbled it. I fumbled what the market gave me. The market gave me a chance to get out and profit, and instead I fucking went right back into it, over leveraged myself, and I pressed the brake, and that was the stop loss for sure. That was stop loss getting hit. I mean, my stop loss didn't just get hit. It got like, have you guys ever seen price just like your creates a candle and fucking flies through your stop loss, and next thing you know, your stop loss is gone, but like it was so quick, so aggressive that it just kind of blink blows through it. Next thing you know, you're like, all right. Yeah, that's what happened to me on Sunday night on my scooter. Super clapped, over leveraged. Give me 1 second. Okay, understanding is something I still kind of struggle with. Understanding what? 5 minutes accumulating. Again, I don't like the double bottoms, so I'm not going to participate in these longs, but I mean, they could pop off. If I get a nice 5 minute shift in structure, I'll look to go long. But right now, I do see it. I just don't see imbalance. No imbalance, no entry. And I don't like to dig through time frames for an imbalance. I like the imbalances and insufficiencies to be clear, just like that, like right here. Boom. Dow took out that previous daily low, came into this breaker, then created an insufficiency. I really like Dow. Dow, I believe this imbalance right here on the left is going to have an effect on current price to continue pushing it higher. But the dollar's moving higher. Look at that. Is it? Is it really? Because the dollar's been in the same spot this whole time. Yeah. I don't know about this area. I wouldn't buy it here. Wait a little bit. I would wait. Just be patient. Be very, very patient. Today's going to be a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. It really is. Today will be a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. Understanding trading is something you struggle with. Honestly, I have like an entire free course here on YouTube. Just watch it. Watch the course and see. I guarantee you'll understand price a lot better once you finish the course. It's on my YouTube page. If you guys go through my playlist, there's one that's very beginner concepts of smart money. It's called the ABCs of smart money. Yeah, go check it out. Nahal said EU 15-minute imbalance looks interesting for DXY news coming. Loads of value and free content. Yeah, there's a lot of free content. I think like I only have a little bit of exclusive content. I mean, Zach is in my 6-month program. You guys can always ask him if you want. There's a couple of you guys that are in my 6-month program, and you guys know that most of my services are like 100% free. It is very rare that I keep things exclusively for just my community. My community, the only thing that they have is a couple of videos and mastermind calls that we do together. But besides that, I mean, my 6-month program, the value comes from our one-on-one sessions. We do 2 one-on-one sessions a month, and each of them are 2 hours. News coming. Let's go. On top of the live streams, honestly, bro, okay, for my traders who are a little bit more experienced, Wouldn't you agree that live streams is the main thing that you as a student need? Like as a student, personally, guys, study the content, right? But once you have the information, it's about learning how to apply it efficiently. So for my more advanced traders on the call, you guys know that it's mainly like the bigger value is in these live streams. There's a little miscommunication here, bro. A lot of traders struggle with over trading, but I struggle with understanding. Oh, under trading. Ah, I don't know why I keep reading understanding. Yeah, I don't know why. My eyes just kept saying understanding. Huh. No, you're saying under trading. Under trading. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know if she's on here, Selena. I don't know if she's on here anymore. Sorry to put you on the spot, Selena, but I actually there's only two people, three people that I've taught here in Utah how to trade, and it was three close individuals. Selena though was my closest individuals, and or I guess second closest. She was a very close individual to me, very valuable, very smart individual, and she's a mom of three. She's a full-time mom, works a full-time job, um, a mom of three, two twins. This is the same age as me, and she was studying trading full-time as well. And her biggest struggle was she was under trading. And what you need to understand is that the reason that she was under trading was because she was afraid of the risk. Now, I didn't really understand why, because she was trading demo a good chunk of the time with me. Because I told her, hey, like, you should trade demo for now until we understand more, you know? And so I had her on demo, and even then, it was kind of a fearful act to take a trade because she was more afraid of being wrong. And that's how we got to like the root cause. And so one of the things that I will tell you is you have to find the root cause to why you're under trading. Most people, the reason that they get out of a trade, that they move their stop loss, that they don't get into a trade is because they are risking too much. Okay? They are risking too much. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. People just really don't believe that they're risking too much, but they'll say, oh, but I'm only risking 1%. And I'm like, but even 1%, it may be too much for your mind to handle. You need to ease into risk because we're not used to taking risks. We're not born fucking risk takers, right? Our minds are wired for survival, not for fucking loss, right? And so you got to rewire your mind. Now, Selena's case, okay? Let's go back to Selena's case. Selena's problem was not risk of losing money because she was trading demo. Selena's issue relied more on the fear of being incorrect, right? And I believe as a mother, because she wants the best for her own children, she wants to be the best version of herself for her own children, that had a big effect in her mind of being incorrect means I'm being incorrect for my children. Being incorrect means I'm not competent enough or this or that, you know? And being incorrect, the fear of being incorrect is a big one in trading. A lot of people, bro, they don't want to trade. They just want to be correct. They don't want to find out the right answer. They just want to be the right one. You know what I mean? That happened to me a lot. That's why I believe that I was able to help her quite a bit, because despite that not being much of my issue, I also had the fear of being incorrect, and it came later on in my trading career, right? At first I was just fucking aggressive, a little too aggressive, but then I just wasn't trading as much as I should have, and I was under trading. And so look, I'll tell you guys what. If you think you're under trading, you probably are. If you think you're over trading, you probably are. I know a guy that's making, 20, 30% of his account, and he's risking, 5%, 0.5%, and he's making some crazy risk to rewards, right? And he takes about like 8, when he does trade, he takes about 8 to 10 trades. But then he doesn't trade for days and days and days. But for him, he's not over trading. He doesn't believe he's over trading. And I don't believe he's over trading either. If you believe that you're over trading, you are. You probably are. If you understand price enough that you don't feel like you're over trading, then, keep going with what you're doing. But if you don't see the results that you like, it's probably a good indicator to change it. Jerome says, for sure, one thing is to sharpen your edge completely. Other things to see someone else's applying the strategy. Yeah. One thing is like studying and sharpening your edge, and then another one is completely different from. A completely other thing is seeing someone else applying the things that you learned. It's way different. Because when I talk here, Alexis was telling me this yesterday. He's like, dude, when I was watching you back in the, at the beginning. Oh, he didn't say this. He said, now that I'm watching you lately, he's like, I understand what you're talking about way more. He's like, before I just thought you were talking, but now I realize like there were so many little things that I didn't notice. And it's just like that. It's like today you could be watching this stream and it may be a little bit bland, right? But then tomorrow you may be watching the stream and then realize, wow, like, maybe you start noticing the gaps. Maybe you start noticing like the peace of mind. Maybe you start noticing patience. Maybe you start noticing, it's whatever you start bringing into your perspective that you'll start noticing on other people. It's whatever you notice in yourself that's either lacking or overwhelming that you will notice on other people. If you lack patience, you will notice the patience in others. Right? But it just really matters whether you come from a lacking place, right? A place that is deficient in whatever it is that you lack. Because if you're constantly coming from a place of lack, I'm telling you, you're going to have a really hard time grasping these concepts. Smithers says, Smithers says, I took a loss on Nas and I looked like it was accumulating in that low. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Not yet. It did, right? Oh, okay. Right here. It did, right? That's why I didn't take that entry. So I don't know if you were here. Yeah, you were here. So when it was right here, when it was coming down into it, the reason I didn't take it was because if you come over here on the, like, this is a 5-minute break, and then you come over here on the 3-minute, and then you don't see any imbalances. Then you saw a 2-minute, no imbalances, 1 minute, no imbalances. And so that was a big sign for me that, okay, so now let's go to the 15-minute. What are we seeing here? Okay. Previous area of distribution that we traded up into. And we are rejecting out of that area. So that was the reason why I didn't want to pull there. No evidence, no entry. Okay, let's see what we got. I think that's my issue, bro. I want to be as competent as possible with every trade. My rules could 0.25 risk every trade, but it's still not trade. Yeah, so it's not the risk, bro. I'm telling you, it's not the money that's really holding you back. You know, maybe you got that as part of you dialed in, and it's you're maybe not looking at the area that's really affecting you, and it could be a total ego like thing. Bro, trust me, like I have a hard time. You can ask my wife. I mean, she battles with me every day about, me wanting to be right. Or give me 1 second. I'm getting a call from my homie and he never calls me at this time. Give me a second. Yeah, he'll call back if it's important. I I I never get calls for certain individuals. There's certain individuals that it doesn't matter what I'm doing, like I'll always answer no matter what. Yeah, no matter what, I'll always answer. Ozzy's definitely one of those individuals in my life. Okay. Um Shit. Yeah, bro. Anyways, yeah, it's not to me it's not that looks kind of good. Yeah, to me it's an ego thing, bro. An ego thing. Honestly, so I learned a really cool way to kill the ego. A really cool way. I'm not saying that it's going to completely annihilate your ego, but check this out. Can I read some of these notes to you guys, cuz this is fantastic. Okay. There were the yeah, no. And that's what I was saying, guys. It's like, yeah, it looks kind of nice, but it just looks like we're going to short, you know what I mean? Let's wait for DXY to do its thing, because it looks like it's just accumulating. Yeah. So the lows, in my eyes, are going to get clapped. For anybody that is looking for shorts. Okay, there was a philanthropy part of the segment of the event on the weekend, and these philanthropists had so many creative ways to give back to the community, especially to struggling business owners. And one of them really like said something that hit me so hard, and he was sharing a story about these when COVID hit. A bunch of restaurants, I know a lot of you may even work at a restaurant and maybe live through this, but when COVID hit, the restaurant industry got hit super hard. I mean, a lot of businesses, I can't tell you how many restaurants that I loved didn't make it through COVID. It's really sad. And so these struggling businesses were getting affected through COVID. If we get a 1 minute accumulation here, we may get this long. All right, maybe. Maybe it has to be a nice 1 minute accumulation. I'm just gonna leave that area there though, on the 5 minute. And what they were doing is they were having there's few stores or restaurants open. There's only a few stores and restaurants open during COVID. And the very few that there were, they would grab all their homies, right? They would grab like a party of 12, 15 people, and they would call it $100 dinner. Okay? They would call it $100 dinner. And so they would go out and everybody would bring $100 to tip. Right? So a waitress or a server, somebody was getting like $1,000 to $1,500, right, while serving a table, which is life-changing for some people, especially if they're struggling in the restaurant business. So what's really cool though is that this amazing activity that they started doing people would always be like, wow, like, how did you know that we were going through such a hard time? How did you know that my sister, and they gave it to this one waitress, and she was just like, her sister hits up the guy, and she's like, hey, like, how did you know my sister was struggling with her deaf son, and her son was, taking up his medication, his equipment was taking up a lot of her income, if not all of it. And like, she was really struggling. She was a struggling single mom that didn't have enough to pay even for food. And so every time they would do this $100 dinner, every single time some story would come up, like, how did you know that I was going through this? And then when you start realizing, like, everybody's going through something, everyone is always going through something all the time, right? So you start to realize, like, when you give, when you're in a giving state, when you're in the state of giving, you can't miss, bro. When you're in the state of giving, you can't miss. When you give something, like, to someone, you just can't miss. As long as you have good intentions, it doesn't matter if it's $100, $20, or $1. When you give, you can't miss. And what I realize is that none of these really cool ideas that these philanthropists had really ever came to my mind. And so I realized that I'm not in the state of giving, right? I need to get more in the state of giving. I want to give more of myself, more of my, more of my rewards, of my blessings. And he ended with this: when you give, you can't miss. So therefore, you humble and quiet the ego. Right? Because the ego wants to do things for itself, right? The ego wants you to be the best in the world. The spirit and soul wants you to be the best for the world. So when you give, you can't miss. So, yeah, anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys, because that's a really good way to kill the ego. Like, you don't have to be wealthy to do these type of things. You really don't. You don't have to be wealthy to help another individual. You don't even have to give them your money to help somebody else. You can simply give someone your time. You can literally do charity work, whatever it may be. Just anything that you don't see yourself doing, right? Like, stuff that you wouldn't regularly do yourself. Things that don't feel right to you. It doesn't feel right to give somebody else money when I need money. Yeah, it doesn't feel right to you, but hey, it doesn't have to feel right. Being right or wrong, who cares? I was dead ass wrong on the directional bias yesterday. I mean, we ended up dumping today on NASDAQ. I was wrong on the directional bias overall, but I was still profitable. So who cares about being right or wrong? Right? Like, who cares about being right or wrong? I was aiming for this high over here. Whenever I tip, for some reason, two numbers always pop up in my head, and I always give with the higher one. I think that's what you said. And I always go with the higher one. Yeah. I like to round my, like, when I love tips because I like to, like, round it. So let's say, like, I'm getting charged like $32, then I'd add, $18 to that and round it to, like, the closest, not the closest tenth, but I round it to a tenth. I don't know why, but because I love having, like, even numbers in my bank account. I think it's so cool. So I use tips for that, but that's just not because to give more, but because it's just numbers. I love numbers so much. That's how I pick mine. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I was telling Eddie this the other day. I was in the pod. I was telling the guys in the pod too. I was like, you know what? I want to have these $100 dinners. I want to do these $100 dinners. And so with you guys here, I want to not want to, but I will be having a in-person event, right? I will do an in-person event pretty soon, probably in Texas, more than likely. And it's not gonna be a boot camp. It's just gonna be a meetup, a mastermind. You know, we're just gonna stop by, pull up all together, and we're gonna do something nice. You know, whoever pulls up, we're gonna go do this $100 dinner, and we're gonna go change someone's life, if not multiple individuals' lives, right? And I want to have a group of individuals that I can do this type of thing with. You know, because again, like, dude, isn't it? To me, I found it so sad that I never would have thought about something like that unless I would have gone to this event. And so I'm really happy and grateful that I was able to be exposed to this level of vibration, because I do believe that I came back a different individual. You know, these type of things would never cross my mind before, but now it's like, yes, like I want to put myself in a situation where I'm able to give back to the community. Community, the people, whoever. These shorts. We're just gonna keep shorting. No trade for me as of right now, guys. I am more in favor of the shorts than anything. I mean, I would love to see the longs on DXY more than anything, and it looks like we are getting that. So yeah, we'll just leave it. I'll be here. Yeah, we'll be here through the hour. No worries. We'll be here. We'll wait. We're patient, right? We're just being patient today. Would definitely love to be a part of that. Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's change someone's life. Hey Bash, can you remind me the name of the indicator that you use for the higher time frame on the side? Okay. The indicator that's right here is called the power of 3. Okay. And honestly, I should really create a video because I get asked all the time. I really need to create a video, but basically it's this one right here. And to get access, you DM me and I'll message you. I'm going to create a video. To get access, you have to hit up this guy 2 degrees. 2 degrees. And he's on Twitter. No, matter of fact, let's just do it. Fuck it. Okay, we're gonna go on Twitter. Alright, and you're gonna go to this guy. 2 degrees. And he is an ICT PineScript coder. AI cognitive scientist. I believe it. I mean, he's a fucking smart guy. Anyways, you go to his link right there, and then here on his website, you go to your vision R code. No, he'll code something for you guys. You go to higher time frame power 3 Pro, and here are his options. So that's how I get it. So you add this to your cart, you pay it, and then only then you go to TradingView and you request it, and then he'll give you access. As long as the emails match up, he'll give you access to it. Man, these shorts are shorting. You know what? I didn't even realize when 10 a.m. hit. I just barely like noticed that it's past 10 a.m. Sorry guys, my fucking wrist hurts. I keep getting these really sharp pains. I mean, the objectives got hit on NASDAQ, 34,000. I mean, on Dow, 34,000. NASDAQ, do you guys remember what it was on NASDAQ? 14,790. We already hit that. And S&P, we hit that. Yeah, I need to stretch. No, not just that, bro, but honestly, I need to stretch out my whole body because this morning I woke up sore as fuck. and I have not gone to the gym. I just ate shit on Sunday night, you know? So I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty banged up. Yeah. I should go see my chiropractor and get an adjustment. Not gonna lie. Adjustments are so good. Took Dow shorts. Nice. I'm glad that you are in those shorts. I'm glad that you guys are in those shorts. Whoever took those, nice. Fucking dumping. DXY. This is kind of in the same area. DXY has yet to hit our objective, but indices wise, we hit our objective. All of our objectives for today that we set earlier before the session, the trading session even started. Right at the first few minutes of the call, I set my weekly, daily objectives. I mean, we got hit today pretty hard. Set some really close ones, relative ones. And this thing's dumping. Yeah, I definitely want to avoid carpal tunnel though, for sure, man. Oh, that would suck ass. Yeah, you know what, guys? I might just call it a session there, and my hand just started hurting a lot. I might just call it a session there. You know, our objectives did get hit. I apologize for calling it a short session, but I'm gonna go get my hand nice and cleaned up and taken care of. Yeah, the shorts, I just didn't catch them, unfortunately. Very unfortunate to not be a part of it. It's really nice and clean shorts, easy trades, easy claps, right? But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go get this. Sure. That's a good pun, Zach. I got it, bro. I'm all trying to see what Jerome's laughing at. I was like, what does Zach say? I didn't really get it until I reread it. I can't. Yeah, it's literally a short session. Sorry about that, guys. I really wish I could stay on here a little bit longer, honestly, but I should probably just go clean this up. I should have cleaned it up beforehand. But tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll clean it up beforehand, and I'll take care of it beforehand. So then I'll be a lot more hands free tomorrow. But yeah, no, I mean, if this thing keeps hurting me, then this road rash is probably gonna have to go get checked out for sure. I appreciate you guys' concern. Yeah, I hope that this thing doesn't fucking just turn around and we have like the biggest, longest day until Friday's high. I would suck, bro. But no, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being on here. Thank you guys for always tuning in. We had almost 30 plus people on the call. So before I end the call, I'm gonna give one of these I'm gonna give one of these one-on-ones away. Okay, now for those of you who have won, please don't answer. For those of you who have already won, please don't answer, because I won't take your entry again. So that way we give everybody an opportunity to win. Okay, but I've already said this quote once on the call. I'm gonna tell it to you guys again, and I want you guys to finish it. The first person to drop the answer, the full quote, not just the answer, but the full entire quote in the chat, will get a free one-on-one with myself. All you got to do is hit me up on Telegram. So the quote is, when you miss blank. Damn it, I said it wrong. When you give blank. Okay, when you give blank. I already gave fucking answer accidentally. When you give blank. It's 3 words. When you give. There we go, Zay. Let's go, my boy Zay. Let's go, brother. Hit me up on Telegram, bro. When you give, you can't miss. Exactly. When you give, you can't miss. Exactly, bro. There you go, Zay. Good shit, bro. Hit me up on Telegram and we'll set up that one-on-one here soon, all right, brother? Again, guys, if you guys want a opportunity to win one of these giveaways tomorrow, I'll give away 2. Tomorrow I'm giving away 2, all right? So tomorrow at the first half of the session, I'll do the first one, and then on the second half of the session, I'll do that last one. But tomorrow I'm giving away two sessions, all right? I'm giving away 2 1-hour sessions with myself. So again, congrats to the winners that we've had this week so far. So far there's been 3 winners. Tomorrow there's going to be 2 more. I want to give, I mean, maybe we'll even do 3 tomorrow. I want to give as much as I can before we end this 30-day challenge. So we're on the 30th day of our 30-day challenge. I did miss 2 days, so I am going to do a makeup session tomorrow. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Clap easy, trade responsibly, and I will talk to you guys soon, all right? Peace.